All right, I'm going to show you how to build a microphone out of an old analog telephone. This is everything you need here. This is actually more than what you need, and I'll get into that in a second. As you can see, I have already painted it, and you'll see in a second I've already drilled it out to fit the input and taken it apart, obviously. So when you take it apart, you're going to have two main elements, and they're going to be connected in different ways. This is the actual microphone element itself, and this is the speaker element, the earpiece element. So most builds are actually going to use the speaker element instead of the microphone element. You can build it with either one or both. The speaker is easier because it's passive, which means it doesn't need any extra electricity in order to function. The speaker or the microphone element is going to need a little bit extra juice, so it is doable, but it's a little more difficult. So we are going to set that aside, and we're just going to work with the speaker element. You might be asking, why would I use a speaker element as a microphone? A speaker is a transducer, so it actually works forwards and backwards. So the same way that you would could make a generator by running a motor backwards, you can also make a microphone by running a speaker backwards. So that's how we're going to do it today. So we've got our speaker element, we've got the phone, obviously, we've got a couple of wires that I've already stripped, and we have a 1/4-inch audio jack. If you wanted to use an XLR microphone jack, the principle is exactly the same. There's really no difference. It's just a preferencing. I like the way it fits in here better, and I actually think that the 1/4-inch jack gives you more options in terms of what you want to do with it. So you can see the speaker here has these two terminals that are fastened by a screw. You might not always see that. Sometimes the terminals are, like this one, soldered. So it really just depends on the phone, and you can kind of see it when you take it apart. You might also have to physically alter the phone in some way. So you can see, obviously you're going to have to drill it out. I believe it's a 5/8 drill bit will fit the 1/4-inch. So that's just where the phone jack originally was. And then for this one, I also had to Dremel out this extra plastic here in order to get it to fit. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to fasten these wires to the terminal here. We are going to feed them through the phone into the jack on the other side, and then we'll test it. That's it. These, I'm using a red and a green wire. I'm sorry, a yellow and a green wire. The color of the wires really doesn't matter. You can use any color you want. You can use the same color. And because this is direct current, it really doesn't even matter. It's such a simple circuit. It doesn't even matter where the wires go. You can switch them. You can switch one side. It's going to work exactly the same. So that was a very long introduction. Let's get to it. So obviously make sure that you're feeding the wires through the right side. Just mix those up. All right, so the speaker is in place. I like to at least get these on the terminal before I solder them, or before I fasten the terminal to the phone. I just think it's easier. My hands are big enough that fastening the jack before I get the wires fastened to those terminals is frustrating. So if you've got better motor skills than I do, you're more than welcome to do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to this is really a display of my clumsiness. I probably could have cut these wires shorter. And then the last thing we're going to do so you go. So it should work now. We're going to solder these on so that they don't come apart, and then we'll give it a shot. And that's it. That's literally the entire project. This is a super easy build, even if you've never done anything like this before. This is a really great first-time electronics project. It's something that even without any experience, you can do in an afternoon. I can hear there's a little bit of a rattle in there, so I might get a little super glue around the edge on the inside just to hold that in place. But this is super simple. You could teach a child how to do this, although you might first have to explain what a landline phone is. So yeah, that's literally the whole process. And now let's test it. How does the little crocodile improve his shining tail? He pours the waters of the Nile on every golden scale. How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly shine his claws, to welcome little fishes in with gently smiling jaws. So that's it. That's the whole build. As you can see, even though we use the speaker element instead of the microphone element, we're still getting that nice lo-fi old school telephone sound. In fact, I actually think it sounds more like that. There's no processing on this. It's just straight into my computer. So yeah, that's it for now. If you end up doing this build, send me a link in the comments. I'd love to see it. All right, bye.